and then turn it over to Laura Calder, our Financial Services Director. And Laura, there you go.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting about our general business license. As Shauna said, my name is Laura Calder, the Financial Services Director, and I'm joined today with Josh Bice, our Tax and License Manager. This is our agenda we're going to follow through today. First, we're going to talk about our why and the benefits that we see with having a general business license. And then Josh is going to talk through what businesses require a license and which ones don't, as well as fees and penalties and our next steps. And then at the end, we'll have a question, we'll open up for questions. So why would we want to do this? We're really trying to get some deeper business demographics to learn about the businesses in Tempe. We want the ability to track different business types, sectors, and categories. We want to track minority and disadvantaged business ownership, get a sense of the number of employees each business has, and revenue groupings. At the moment, we do have a lot of data that we cannot share that comes from our transaction privilege tax business information. But we are unable to share that with other departments or even the public. As you could imagine, it's confidential and limited strictly to certain individuals on a need-to-know basis for that tax group. We do have data for our regulatory licenses, our tobacco tax. So we believe we have about 1,300 businesses that we do have access to information on that's not confidential and could be shared. But as you can see from the graphic, that's a long way away from the number of businesses that we expect that we could that could be licensable under this program that we could seek to get information on. Why do we want this information and what would we do with it? So having a complete database of Tempe businesses would enable us to communicate essential updates and provide business outreach support. The main challenges of not having that database right now is that we can't reach out and support and effectively provide that support to businesses that we are not aware are in our community and our city. And so even as we were doing the business license meetings today, we did not have this complete database that we could reach out to and let people know, hey, this is an potential ordinance change that could impact you, so that you can join these calls. That was something we had to, for today, get information, limited information that we have, and then try and get information out in other ways. So, we would be notifying you. We could use that list to notify you of ordinance changes, city services, and programs that may be beneficial to your business. But we don't just want to use that information for those purposes. We also want to make that information available to the business community. And so we would plan to do that through an interactive GIS map. And that would allow businesses to be able to see clusters of businesses in different categories. So if an area has an oversaturation of one type of business owners could use that information to potentially set up somewhere else within the city. We could also see businesses could also use it to see proximity to different vendors and suppliers if they needed to be near to those businesses, or complementary businesses. If there are businesses that do well with others, that would be another piece of information that we could see being useful to our business community. And so with that, I'm going to turn over to Josh, who's going to tell us more information about the proposed business license.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. So right now, for our recommendations, we are recommending that if you have a permanent business location in the city of Tempe, then you would be required to get a business license. That also includes businesses that currently do not need a TPT or tax license, such as professional services like a chiropractor or an accountant or something along that nature. If you are a contractor and you're based in Tempe, of course, you would need a license. But even if you're not based in Tempe and you're doing a job or have a development in the city, you would also still need a business license. Again, this is on an annual basis, so you would only need one for the whole year. Even if you have multiple job sites, you would still just need one license. We're also including nonprofit entities. There was some discussion about this, and we have decided to recommend nonprofit entities be included as a requirement for business licenses. Now, some of the businesses that are exempted from needing a business license would be any of those approximately 1,300 regulatory licenses that Laura mentioned previously. We already have most of the data that we are going to be collecting on a business license application. And so we would not want those businesses to recreate the wheel and have to get a second regulatory license with us at the City of Tempe. If a business is a temporary business or only operating in the city for a special event or something of that nature, we would also not require a business license. All of that is handled through special events and having to register and get on those lists. If a business is just operating as a casual business, meaning 4 times or less a year they have sales or a business activity, that would not require a business license either. Childcare, if not required to be licensed with the state of Arizona per Arizona Revised Statute 36, they would not also be required to get a business license either. There's a kind of a line there between babysitter and then child care center that is mandated by state law, essentially. Independent contractors or sales representatives also would not be required. So if somebody is acting on behalf of another parent organization, just executing sales, they would not be required. That individual would not be required to have a business license. And then lastly, educational lessons or tutoring services from a residential or non-commercial location would also not be required to have a business license. Again, your piano lessons, your after-school tutors, something along that nature. Those are some examples of businesses that would be exempt from a license. We also are prohibited by state law from requiring some of these business types to get a license, such as a producer of food, real estate brokers, anyone that is out of state that is not, again, based in the city, residential rental properties we are not allowed to license, and then captive insurers as well. Our proposed fee for the general business license is $25 annually. How that stacks up with our TPT license, our tax license, is currently $50. So for most businesses, it would be about a $75 annual liability for the 2 licenses. We are hoping to encourage signups and compliance with a somewhat of call it a free sign-up period. So if this passes and a business signs up prior to the new year of 2026, we will waive the $25 application fee that we just mentioned. You would also not therefore have any fee until January 1st, 2027, when we do that calendar year renewal. So again, if you sign up prior to 2026, you would not have to actually pay a business license fee for about a year and a half or so. We do have some penalties, which is consistent with all of our regulatory licenses currently. And if a business does not renew timely, you have a business license and don't renew your license timely, which is 30 days after the expiration, that would be a penalty would be assessed for that. We also have operating without a license penalties, again, consistent with all of our current regulatory licenses. And our recommendation is just a 50% license penalty. So it'd be $12.50. So again, if a business does not renew timely, they would owe in total $37.50 at that point for that calendar year if they don't renew their business license. So some of our next steps here, we are obviously in the middle of our public outreach, or the beginning of our public outreach phase now. And this ordinance, when it is fully completed and ready to be heard, will go to council May 22nd for the first hearing. And then second hearing and adoption would be June 5th. The effective date would be August 1st if this is adopted. And as I mentioned, that would start our grace period where we are encouraging and hopeful that we get signups from August 1st, 2025 through the end of the 2025 calendar year at no fee whatsoever. And that would start our first renewal period for those businesses January 1st, 2027.
Thanks, Josh. And so before we turn it over for questions, I did want to highlight that there is a feedback survey that's available. You can reach it at tempe.gov /business license. And so you can answer those questions there and give us your feedback. But definitely we welcome questions at this time.
Okay, thank you, Laura. And you can put your question either in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, that's under the heart that's at the bottom. We do have one asking, is the interactive map going to act as a directory as well?
I can take that one, Laura. Yes, our goal is to try to generate as interactive of a map as we can. Currently, we have a couple interactive maps that are available to the public for two other regulatory licenses that do have all business and contact information that we collect on that regulatory application. Our goal is for this map that we would create to be exactly the same, where we have the business information and contact information, and we would like to capture business type to be able to kind of sort and allow businesses or customers to filter by a certain business type to where it can be used as a directory in that sense.
Okay, so the comment is, and I'm going to read these aloud for the recording online. Awesome, I live in Tempe, but my business is entirely online, so I work out of my home. Would I need a license?
The short answer for that would be yes, unless it falls into one of the exemptions.
And are there other questions? If you're having trouble finding the raise hand, you're also welcome to come off mute and ask a question. Yes, Gabe.
So my question is kind of what we envision as the future of like the business license. As somebody that's recently opening a business in Mesa, they also have a business license. But it provides access to some of their business builder programs, small business assistance tools. Does Tempe envision kind of creating something similar over here, but doing it better because we always do? Or what's the thought there?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. That would be our goal, to work with other internal City of Tempe departments as well to provide whatever type of services and benefits as we can. You know, as Laura mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, not only do we want to be able to make this public so businesses and customers can use it to their advantage, but internally we want to be able to share information and then to have other departments access that information for these types of businesses to notify and work with small or any type of business rather in the city.
Do we have any other questions? All right, I'm not seeing any, Laura and Josh, if there's any wrap up you want to do. And the link for the comment is in the chat as well.
Yeah, other than just, we're open to your feedback and comments. Please do share with us and we'll take a look at everything and we have another public meeting this evening at 6 p.m. at the Tempe Public Library.
And then I saw we did just have someone join us, so I know that Zoom may have been being a little glitchy, so I didn't know. Melissa, we're in the question and answer period. We did record the presentation and it will be online. But if you had any questions, we're happy to answer those at this time too.
I think the question that I had, and it's probably in the slide deck, was just when would this start?
Yeah, so our timeline is May 22nd would be the first hearing by council. June 5th would be second hearing and adoption, and then with an effective date of August 1st. And so we are having a trial or a free sign up period from August 1st till the end of this calendar year, 2025, where businesses can sign up and pay no fee at all, and they wouldn't owe a $25 application fee until 2027.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Again, thank you so much for joining us. As I mentioned, we will put this recording online. And then we are taking comments through the 30th, and also online, you can find the information for those council hearings if you want to comment there as well.